TSPN is excited to announce Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. Focusing on the lives, experiences, and viewpoints of motherlode women, the show features a rotating cast of 4 women of all ages and from all walks of life. Quick, upbeat, and fast-paced with a variety of topics, this one-hour show will be aired live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. Tune in, it's Just Between Us.
Good morning and welcome to Just Between Us, and we have a lively panel this morning. I got my buddy with me this morning, Austin, and my girlfriend, Martha, and we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to discuss different topics that have been, and certain things that have been going on in the world the last 24 hours or whatever. So we're going to get started. My name is Susie. I'm from Volcano.
I'm Austin from Pine Grove.
I'm Martha from Jackson, Anion, and welcome live from Jackson, California.
Oh, good girl.
Good morning, Jackson.
Yes, good morning,
Right.
Jackson is right. Okay.
So we're going to do a couple of topics. Okay?
Yeah.
You're going
Give me these.
to
That one.
take.
These two. I got these.
Okay.
Two. Perfect.
Okay, now.
We got emotions.
Emotions. Number 4.
Number 4. What emotion is the easiest for you to share with others?
Okay, and the next topic?
Being in style. We're always in style.
Number 4 again.
Here we
You're
go.
just on top of it.
I know.
Do you feel that our styles have evolved into being much more modest and stylish today as opposed to 20 years ago?
Okay, we're going to
Oops.
take a very, very short break. Whoops. We're going to take a very short break while Martha keeps us abreast of what's going on in fashion. We'll be right back.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. To Just Between Us.
Welcome back to Just Between Us. And Austin, our first one we're going to discuss.
It was emotions. What emotion is the easiest for you to share with others?
Emotions. Caring about other people, and getting that immediate feeling. There's a lot of people that don't get that feeling.
Happiness,
you know?
happiness.
Well,
I don't know if that counts as... I don't know if caring is an emotion. That's...
I believe it is, because if I don't care about you, that's not,
happiness.
that's an emotion too.
It brings
you
happiness.
joy.
It brings you joy.
me joy to be able to help other people because I care.
Yeah,
Is that emotion?
yeah.
Okay,
That
we'll
works.
go. Explain to me what emotions mean to you.
Exactly what you said. Happiness,
It works.
sorrow, happiness, your feelings, showing your feelings. A lot of people can't show their feelings.
Trust me, I know.
They're just like a brick wall. Just
Right.
Isn't that
There's no
something?
emotion.
How do people do that? I don't understand.
because they were raised that way.
Or
most
don't
of
you
them.
think that maybe sometimes they're afraid to show any type of emotion, of being prejudged?
They think that they'll be seen
Ooh, excuse me.
maybe as being weak.
God bless you. Go ahead. Bless you.
Excuse me. Thank
Bless
you.
you.
Boy, I get your attention, didn't I?
there.
You got our attention. We're
Yeah.
focused on
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
A lot of people, they might see themselves as being perceived as weak if they're showing emotion.
Right.
If
That's what
they
it is.
cry at the end of a movie because
Right.
the dog dies, what are you crying over that dog for? Well,
Right.
That usually has something to do with the people that they're raised around or by, or just the people that they're
Sometimes
associated with.
when we were growing up, a lot of people would say that little boys should never cry. That you're a
Exactly.
sissy if you cry.
Exactly.
And today, it's okay if a man wants to cry. There's nothing wrong with that. Why should they suppress an emotion of feeling sorrow or whatever
Yeah.
when women can do it or children can do it? So I think that
It's
one thing we make too much about emotions.
It's 'cause
Men make too much out of it.
Well,
Because it depends
traditionally.
on their parents. Because my children were raised to be emotionally involved with everything that happens with your family.
Yeah. And that's
with your
good.
children, with
Right.
with somebody that you care about, and to be able to show emotions. And to me, I'm proud that my children show their emotions. I mean, they're not crying every 5 minutes, but if somebody tells
Yeah.
them a story about their life, and they
Compassion.
care. They
yeah,
care.
they actually,
Yes.
you can see,
They-
it affects them.
Right.
Right.
Instead
Right.
of just
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what do you want me to do? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Like,
don't you feel that, not that you're wary, but don't you find that when you're dealing with somebody and they can't show emotion, that kind of makes you put like a
A
brick
wall,
wall
yeah.
sometimes?
It makes it really difficult to
Converse.
converse because you don't know if what you're saying is offending them or making them feel a certain way because they're not showing it. It makes
Right.
it very difficult to do that. I have people that I can talk to, but I'm really nervous about saying certain things or joking too much because I can't tell if they're getting angry or if they're actually having fun with it or
Right.
it's
and
difficult.
that is one of the hardest things to deal with when somebody doesn't have a sense of humor, when they can't show happiness or when they can't, I mean, it's not an emotion per se, but their personality, like what you were saying in the beginning was compassion. You know, when you have compassion for somebody, it brings you happiness. That is the emotion that is
there
easy
are
for
some
you.
people that are raised to be
Very stoic.
You know, yes, their families are from their mother and their father. I have met people in my life, you know, they have been in my life that I just don't understand, you know, why they have no emotions. I could be telling them a story about somebody that just, you know, had something horrible happen.
Right.
It doesn't
Like,
phase them.
and
well.
it doesn't.
Well, it's because traditionally, I mean, if you think back, men especially were supposed to always be strong.
Keep the stiff upper lip.
Yeah, stiff
I was
upper lip.
just
They
talking
don't.
to somebody
it doesn't
last
affect
night
it.
about that.
Yeah, and traditionally that was how it was supposed to be. The guy doesn't show
Right.
pain or he's strong. He's
You're
strong.
not masculine
You know
if
what?
you don't
Somebody
Yeah,
told me
but-
last night. Somebody, just excuse me. I just don't want to forget. This Mexican guy that came in with his wife last night, and we were talking about emotions in men and women. They were talking about movies. And then he said, you know, she cries for everything. Every movie that we watch, she's always crying. And I said, and doesn't it touch you to, you know, when you see something that is like real life that just happened to you too, or could happen to you? Doesn't that touch your heart? He goes, yeah, but we are taught not to cry over everything, because then if women see us cry, they believe that we are weak as
No,
men.
I think it's a
Well,
sign.
well,
I think
yeah,
it's a sign
belief
of. Yeah.
That's the belief of
some.
We got to move on. I'm
Wow.
sorry, but that was a good. That was
That was a
good.
good topic. All right. Being in style, because we're always in style.
Oh, yes.
Can I say?
Yes.
Do you feel that our styles have evolved into being much more modest and stylish today as opposed to 20 years ago?
Okay.
Absolutely not.
First of all, the style that needs to be amended is when you don't have the body to wear the short T-shirt and the lower pants. I saw a woman, I'm not kidding you, and I'm not making fun of people because I've got the jelly belly too. She was wearing a crop top in the lower thing. She was an older, more mature woman. She had a belly button that looked like a blowhole of a whale.
Oh,
There was
Lord.
no excuse to dress like that in public. None. People were nudging each other going, did you see that? Then in the back, because they were low, her panties were coming up. It was like, oh.
She
it
had
was,
the whale tail going and everything. Just,
yeah, it was
Oh,
You know what,
awful.
that's-
Susie, what I believe is that some people have no sense of...
Fashion.
They don't care. They just, whatever they find first, that's what they're going to wear. Whether it's small or too large or too...
You have to
And-
dress according to your body structure and your age.
well, to
That's your belief, but...
an extent, it's
you know.
actually them being really, they don't really care. They're confident in themselves. They don't really care what other people think.
Yeah, that's how
but-
they feel.
But it's still like,
We
do
have
us
to,
a public decency,
yeah,
and if
yeah,
you're, if
we have
you,
to look at you.
I mean, it might not even be that we're judging you
no,
and you
clean,
should feel
clean
bad,
your
but
mirror. That's all you got to do is clean the
but-
mirror and look at it with the lights on. That's
but
all
if
you have
you're,
to do.
you know, if you're morbidly obese and you're still shopping at Baby Gap, you
gotta
have an
be-
issue.
There's
Yeah.
a problem.
There's
There
your
is a
sign.
problem.
There's your sign right there.
There's your sign.
There's your sign that you're doing something wrong.
I mean,
But you know, Austin, I really believe that everybody looks at themselves differently. You
Yeah.
know, there's, I mean, I'm heavy, and I look at myself in the mirror.
Who's
and
that sexy lady?
It's
Who's
that girl.
You're
know.
not heavy. Where are you heavy?
No, we're not. What are you talking about?
You're not heavy.
I just want to take at the moment so you guys tell me I'm skinny.
Okay, I have never seen you
I am
dressed in
not.
anything that was not appropriate attire.
Well,
never.
Do you know, one time my granddaughters dressed me up like a teenager.
Oh boy.
And I'm telling you, I looked at myself, I went, that's me? Whoa, they put me
Was
on
that Adriana?
boots. Yes, Adriana and Karina. I know.
Karina?
They put me on high heels,
Oh,
high
how
boots, some of these really tight pants and a long blouse and put my hair up, and I was like,
Okay, wait a
And
minute.
you're like, woo!
yeah.
That looks like me when I'm washing the car out in the driveway.
Whoa.
Yeah. No, I believe
my
that
God.
women my age can wear leggings with the long blouse and the high heels, but you have to have an even balance. You have to be appropriate. I know that even my granddaughter said to me, she goes, you know, Noni, every time you come to the game or whatever, even if you have on, like, you know, your shorts or whatever and a top,
You look
you
nice.
always look nice. And, you know, she says you're not like the other grandmas that don't care and they don't dress properly.
I don't
So
think it's that they
of course, I
don't
gave her
care.
$25
Yeah.
before that, so no
But
wonder.
that's beside. But
Yeah.
if you think 20 years ago, I always want to end up thinking the 80s, but we're 2014 now. It's actually 1994 now.
Yeah.
Mm.
But let's take it back to the 80s, just for that sake. They weren't really modest at that point. At least my age group wasn't very modest. If you think, you know, drugs, sex, rock and roll, all that.
Right.
I mean, look at the movie Rock of Ages, and you'll see that they weren't modest about what they were wearing. It was the half shirts,
it was that
the
freedom.
fishnet leggings,
Right.
it was, you know, the shirt that the arm comes off to here, and
Right.
this is all just skin.
But that's okay.
But that, and it looked,
because you're covered up.
but yeah, and that was the thing. They were still covered. It looked like they were scantily clad, but they weren't. They were still covered up. Nowadays, you have girls who, let's say, going to homecoming or winter formal for us, and they're wearing dresses that barely go.
Well, they got the side nude panel and stuff. That's
well, they have
Hollywood.
no,
That's
it's not
the
that.
problem.
It's that their skirts barely go
Yeah.
mid-thigh, barely. And when they sit, you're kind of like, look somewhere else. Just
Well, it's like that,
You
like
know,
that song,
let
on the
me-
clear day you can see forever.
Well, let me tell you something.
Okay.
This is a very controversial topic about talking about how women dress up, young people, because it's not supposed to be, you know, it's not supposed to attract you, and a woman can dress up in whatever she wants. Well, I always believe that there should be some rules about how we dress up, not to be provocative. Well, maybe
you can be
it's-
sexy without being
Correct.
provocative.
Correct.
And unfortunately, a lot of women,
And that's
They
a
don't know the
very,
difference.
but
They don't
that-
know the
But
difference.
that's a very controversial topic to me, because if a man turns around and look at a woman that, you know,
is wearing barely anything.
yeah.
well,
and-
then you're asking for
Well,
asking
see, no.
for
No.
you're asking for people to criticize, but you're not asking for trouble, because when you say, "Hey, no," it's no.
But we need to make that one of the
We're going
hot topics.
All right.
Okay,
Two
we're gonna
topics.
take-
We got a
yeah,
free
okay.
for all,
Okay.
riding along in my
I know what you-
automobile.
Oh, Chuck Berry.
Number 5.
Riding along in my.
Statistics have shown that young adults, teens, and older drivers are the cause of accidents. Do you
Oh.
believe this?
Oh boy, that hits all of us right here.
Okay, and the next topic
It's
is
free
Yeah,
for
free
free
for all.
for all.
So
Okay.
we're going to take it and we're going to bring it right back to you in the flip side of 2.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. And now back to Just Between Us.
Welcome back to Just Between Us. And Austin, our next topic is
Riding along in my automobile.
that. You know, that was a Chuck Berry song.
I kind of figured.
Yeah.
Statistics
Do you
have
even
shown-
know?
I don't know who Chuck Berry is, but I kind of figured it was a song. I got that part. I might be young, but I understood
You know
it
who
was a
Chuck Berry
song.
is when you hear his music.
I might.
Maybelline, Maybelline, all those old songs.
You lost me. Statistics have shown that young adults, teens, and older drivers are the cause of accidents. Do you believe this? Yes.
Yes, because it's been proven.
Absolutely. Well, that was a quick topic. Here we go.
There we go. I think the reason why
Let's talk
teens,
about Chuck Berry.
but see, they've changed the law with teens. You just don't get your license at 16 like I did, and then load up the car with the girls and go.
No, now it's you have to once you turn 15 and a half, you can get your permit.
Right.
The day you turn 15 and a half, you can get your permit. You have
Right.
to take your driver's ed test and everything.
See, in our
and you get
days,
it.
they had driver's ed at school.
Well, they do that now, but it's a semester class when you can take it in a day. Honestly, because I took
Yeah,
it
if
online.
you paid $300 and some dollars.
No, mine was only $100, and
Well, I need to talk to my daughter because she just.
yeah, you need to work on that.
I know, $300
$300. No,
Yeah.
$100.
That's probably privately.
But I could take mine. I didn't even have to read most of the questions, and I could just get the test done.
I think boys are.
We're
more,
pretty good at it.
Yeah, I do. I think that boys.
It's spatial
boys got
awareness.
it. Yeah, absolutely. Where I think girls are too busy on with the text, the phone. Oh, did he call? The texting, looking in the mirror, changing the CDs in the I almost said cassette. That's telling me how old I am.
Nowadays
The
it's
LA track.
now it's your iPod, and most
Yeah,
if you have most people now, they hate the standard stock CD
Right,
changer, everything.
right.
So they go and get like a Pioneer or Kenwood new stereo deck. And most of those are now Bluetooth, so you just hook your phone up to it. And
But see, that's another thing, Austin. If you've got something on your head and you're listening to music like that, a lot of times you can't hear a fire truck.
well,
you
it
can't hear
doesn't.
the
It's not
people.
headphones. It's playing
just
through
the
your
car.
speakers.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's just taking out
See
your.
how good technology-wise I am?
It takes out your old CD player in
puts
the
in-
car,
okay.
and it takes out your old radio and puts a new one in, and it's usually bright lights, red, blues. Sometimes there's a green one if you find that, and sometimes they
Lord
alternate
have
colors.
mercy.
They're fun, okay? They're
I'm
fun.
sure
I
they
have.
Well, our technology nowadays.
Oh, it's
crazy.
great.
Yeah.
It's
well,
great.
you know, I cannot even imagine what's going to be like 20 years from now.
20 years from now, it's
Oh
going to be
my
crazy.
5 years from now.
God,
They're
you
working
know.
on stuff now that all these new technology, these phones, they're
They're gonna be,
passé. In 18 months, they're gone.
Well, that's the thing. Now, if you go to AT&T, and I was talking to you guys about this before we came back on, you no longer just get your new phone, $200, because you're paying for the rest of it in your bill. Now you're buying that phone outright.
Right,
It's
right.
$700, but you're paying it in payments of like $31 a month.
40.
Right.
Not even 40. Mine.
I'm paying 40 a month.
Well, aren't you special?
Yes, I am.
I got the new iPhone, so it's $31 a month for mine, and in 18 months I can upgrade
Okay.
to a new phone.
Now, the young kids, phone, CDs, whatever, music, whatever. Now, older people, reflexes are not like they used to be.
No.
And I have
It's-
seen some
I tell
old
you,
people.
this
oh
morning,
my.
I am not lying to you. This morning, just this morning, driving here, right there on Highway 88, as I pass the cemetery, somebody stopped in the middle of the highway
Oh my
and
gosh.
was going to turn left, like right now. My heart just stopped. I mean, I just barely. And then you know how there's gravel on the right side? I had to go on that part. I'm glad that my car didn't spin, but my heart was pounding, and
You're just going.
yes. Well,
Really?
no,
It's tough.
that's not what I said.
No.
There's a
an
lot
old-
of words that
as
we
an
can't
old
translate
person,
for you.
I
As an
just
old
said,
person.
I turned around and I called them a few names in Spanish.
and kept driving. We won't
Believe
translate
me.
those for you.
No,
guys.
I kept on going.
I've got a menu of stuff. I tell you to put things where you didn't think they'd fit, but I'm going to tell you.
How can somebody stop in the middle of the
'Cause
highway
they're not thinking.
and on a double yellow line, and turn left, and there was another car ahead of me, this truck with about 3 or 4 people that I saw, and how can people be such idiots? And I was so upset.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is
You don't
dangerous.
stop in the middle
No,
of the highway and turn left just in 1 second, you know, and think that the other people are
Really?
supposed to stop for you because
And,
you need to turn left.
and people don't, like you said, they don't signal. They're crossing over where they're not supposed to
Well,
cross over.
The person in front of me almost hit him too.
Oh,
you know,
my
I
God.
was like, oh, please.
Well, now it's not even just young people and elderly.
everybody.
It's everybody.
Everybody.
But the statistics show young people, teens, and older people do
Of
cause
course,
the majority
I mean,
of accidents.
Of course, you have people who are inexperienced and distracted, and people who are not reacting very quick. All right, and our free-for-all. Children in restaurants. Some people want to ban children from certain restaurants. Do you feel this is a violation of freedom? Freedom to dine in public.
You know, I
Is
had
that a freedom?
an incident
No.
that happened
well, I mean,
last night.
it's
I
the
had an
freedom.
I don't know if that's a
Incident.
right, though.
Listen, I had an incident last night that it was so horrible. I mean, this child was screaming. This child must have been about maybe 4 years old at the oldest. And he was at the table screaming, just
Bloody murder.
bloody murder. And I just stood up, you know, because I was talking to a customer and I was sitting with them. And I stood up and I looked at the parents like they were acting like
No big deal.
that's normal for my child, you know.
Yeah,
like
well, that's
we're
the
supposed
thing.
to put up with that. To me, you're supposed to be respectful when you take your children out to dinner.
It starts
and
at
teach
home
them
at a
and
young
teach them.
age.
But
You
you know,
don't
the
go out.
education that we need to teach our children is totally different for everybody.
Right.
You know, I believe that restaurants should have a room, you know, when they have like playrooms and stuff.
Sure, that's
for,
fine.
you know, for the children to entertain themselves. But, you know, there's places that, little restaurants where we don't have that luxury.
Right.
You know, so it makes it very hard. But last night, I was just like,
But I will
You're like, I'm done
guarantee
with
you.
this kid right now.
But I guarantee you, when you took your kids out to eat, like when I took mine out to eat,
one look. One look.
I didn't even
and
have to
that's
say a
all it
word.
took.
They're just like,
they love going out. Now
they
my
knew that
grandkids.
if I looked at them like that, when they got home, they were going to be punished.
Now when I took John and Courtney out, since they were small, they knew how to act because their mom and dad
well, if
expected
I
manners.
said, stop it, please,
Yeah, you're in
I
a
had
restaurant.
to say it 2 or 3 times. It was for sure they were going to have something taken away. No, I only hit one of my kids once my daughter Rachel. I just went bang like that.
she was like,
She never forgot it. She still reminds me,
Oh, bless
like,
her
oh
heart.
my God, I'm so sorry, Rachel.
It was just
But you deserved it that day.
you heard that one.
No, you know, the thing is that I'm the type of person that if my child or grandchild was acting up, I would just say, come on with me, we're going outside, and have a talk with them outside. I believe that people have the right to go and eat wherever they want, okay?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm going to use the word right and freedom, but I don't mean it in the constitutional form. But what I'm saying is that when you have a child that is unruly and you're the type of parents that, oh, he's getting in touch with his feelings or he's expressing himself, I'm going to show you express yourself.
I'm going to
Come with
express
me.
myself with my foot.
Come with
to
me.
your
Yeah,
son's
come with me in the bathroom
Well,
and I'll show you
can't do
expressing
that. You
yourself.
can't do that with anybody's
No.
child. You
No,
can't.
but
No,
it's...
but I know what he's
Because
saying.
it's very offensive.
Yeah,
Because
it
if one of
is.
my grandkids was acting up, I would stand up and I would sit down with the child or take him outside. Well, the father took the child last night, put him over his shoulder, and that child was just no control.
Did he leave or did he just stay there?
No, he just stayed outside with the child, and they took their
I mean,
food
don't
to
they
go.
understand that other people, it's the end of the day, they're tired, they want to have sit down, have a nice dinner in peace
But
and quiet.
children have no notion.
They
of-
don't understand that.
They know that that's how they get attention.
That's exactly
and
it.
that's how they're going to react, because that's when they get the attention from the parents.
Take a kid,
You know.
take a kid in any store, and you go by the kid department with the toys.
Of course.
You're going to have a
Watch-
problem.
Of
You're going to
course.
have a problem.
Of course.
So it's got to be from the beginning. It's got to be the parents have got to say, we're going to the store. If you act up, Danielle one time did this with John. He was a pistol. She cracked him once, and this woman looked at him and she goes, "You want him? Call CPS. I don't care what you do. It's the end of the day. I'm tired. I want to shop. He's pulling this on purpose because I told him, you're not going to get what you want until we're ready to get in line. She yanked him out of the store, and she brought him to the car and said, you know what? I'm going to take you home, or I'm going to give you another crack if you don't stop it. Boy, he behaved himself.
I don't understand why people are so just touchy about spanking. You're not punching your kid in the face.
A little crack across the rear end doesn't kill.
No, I mean,
hurt a kid.
We do that to each other now just for fun. We'll just whack, and
the
it
way
gives a
that I
5-star.
used to talk to my children,
You didn't have to spank him.
now it's abuse.
I'd be put in jail.
Yeah.
Now you're just like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I can't say that no more.
No, it's like
That's the issue, though.
It's like this.
Don't
Don't let me take you back to the bakery and rip your heart out in front of people.
My
Please,
kids
don't make me do
never
that.
knew what
Okay,
a
Mommy.
seatbelt was.
Yeah.
Okay, we're racers. I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah, we
Look
didn't
at
have
all the
seatbelts.
new rules that we have now, and
Yeah.
the car seats. You know, that baby that I'm taking care of
It's
right
a
now.
5-point harness for
It's like-
racing. Just
Yeah.
click.
I mean,
Yeah.
this little tiny thing has to have all these locks and
But
all
you know
this-
what? It saves their life.
Yeah.
We got to move on and pick our last two topics.
well,
I'm sorry.
You know,
Yeah.
my,
Show's going by like that.
I
know.
got 9 children, and they never use a seatbelt.
Friendships.
But it's been proven that they save lives.
Number 6. Oh, boy.
What did you say?
6.
Oh.
What did you say?
You got to teach me how to say that.
Okay. Who has better friendships, men or women?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And
And we have a free-for-all.
Okay, so we're going to take a very, very short break. We're going to come back and find out who these two lovely people think have better friendships, men or women. And we got another free-for-all for you, so stay with us. We're coming right back.
Bye.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage.
Welcome back. I'm Susie from Volcano.
I'm Austin from Pine Grove.
And I'm Martha from my own in Jackson.
Okie dokie, artichokey. What's our next one?
Artichokes, 3 for $1. Who has better friendships, men or women?
Oh, Lord, that's a hard one.
I don't even know if it's a gender-oriented
No.
side, but I will say, I think that sometimes men have more loyalty, and I think that they have that bond. I think that a lot of men keep friendships for maybe a longer time.
The
sometimes.
thing that I've noticed is that men, we can be friends, and then one of us does something wrong to offend the other, and we'll have it out.
Yeah, you'll talk about
Sometimes it'll go into a fist fight if they're that kind of people, but after that,
it. It's over.
it's over. It's done.
Not girls.
No, girls, it's...
I won't ever
can
talk to you again. I hate you.
You did something? Can you believe that, girl? Can you believe
There you
her?
go.
Yeah.
I love you so much. I
Yeah.
forgive you. I can't believe her.
Uh-huh.
I'm so
That's
done
it.
with her.
You're 100%
That's what
correct.
it turns into, and it's why?
Petty.
It's petty. Talk it out. That's what guys have figured out to do. At least most of them.
Well, do you know how I kind of drop friends sometimes because they hurt my feelings?
He's like, I'm done with you. I don't need this in my life.
Well,
In
you don't need to
negative.
be
I don't
insulted.
Yeah.
No,
Neither do I.
exactly.
I mean, don't insult my intelligence, number
You
one.
know, when they treat you like you're stupid and this or that, you just go like, I am not that, you know, and they start telling you what to do and you don't do it the way they want you to do it. It's like, this is my life. You know, I love you, but,
I can do
Yeah.
what I need to do.
you know, it's
When you have somebody that does that, like turns on you or says things about you,
and they say
all it
they're
is just
supposed to be
jealousy.
your
They are
best
so
friends.
jealous because you've got something that they don't, and that's petty. You should be happy for your friends when they achieve something.
Exactly. I mean, now granted, I can understand some jealousy if your friend just has doors open for them constantly. Just
Yeah, you say,
know
wow.
what?
Yeah.
Why can't I have that happen to me?
Right, you're really
This
lucky.
is crap.
Yeah.
But
You're happy for 'em.
You're still there to enjoy the fact that they're happy. They
Right.
can.
As long as they're gracious. It's like being a gracious loser. If you're a gracious loser,
How can you be a gracious loser? Can you be a gracious loser?
yeah,
Can
I
you
think
really?
you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you lose, you lose. It's
well,
the same thing as
I
being a
played
great.
football. I had to be.
Oh,
Especially- okay,
But
if-
you were faking it.
No, I
Yes.
was still gracious. I was I was PO'd that I didn't win.
Right.
But if you
it
did
was
win the
like,
big game,
you know what?
and you guys won a lot of big games, you're a gracious winner too.
Yeah.
That it takes
I
a
don't know
lot.
about that.
You know what?
We weren't the best on that one.
Okay.
You know,
we weren't.
I have to be honest. I try not to go to the games because I just get so angry. Yes, I do. I do.
Oh no,
because,
we get angry too.
you know, and I know I cannot control myself. You know.
You're yelling at the refs. What are you doing?
Oh well, yeah,
You have a
that's
bad call brick that's
No.
actually a brick. You're just checking it out.
No, I only did it once, and I learned my lesson. You know, my kids were very young, and they were being beat up. You know, and the referees weren't doing anything about it. So I was like, "Don't let my child get hurt, you ding dong la la
Well,
la."
that's the thing that's hard for
Parents. So my grandkids, you know, suffered the consequences of me.
We just keep on going.
Get
track.
Yes, we do. And so I'm going to bring us back.
That's women.
I'm going to bring
They
us
just
back
take
on
it
track.
off.
But
Yeah.
but now, if you have a conflict with with one of your friends, say one of your women friends, I know you're honest enough. You'll say, you know, I got to bring something up. You really hurt my feelings when you did this. But I think men and women can be friends. I don't think that there's a gender thing. I don't
No.
think that there's an age gap.
No.
I don't think any of that. I think that if you're friends with somebody, you're friends, and
It doesn't
you
matter
can
because
sit there.
my very best friend right now is a gay guy
Yeah.
that lives in San Francisco. And I mean, it doesn't matter how far we are, we can still talk to each
There you
other,
go.
text each other, Facebook each other, and, you know, it's like he never left, you know.
But don't you find too that, I mean, I can say, Austin, I need your opinion on something. Am I being too touchy about the situation, or do I have a right to be angry about the situation? I think that what people have to remember in friendship, it doesn't make any difference sex, it doesn't make any difference religion, it doesn't make any difference politically or racially or age-wise. If you
But
care
you know,
for a person
who
and
could
they're
you-
your friend,
who-
they're your friend.
As a young person, Austin, who do you trust most? One of your girlfriends or one of your guy friends?
See, I have
Not a
hard-
girlfriend,
No,
but
I know.
a
It-
girlfriend.
I have a hard time with that because I know that a lot of my guy friends, they're jokers. They will pull pranks on me. They'll give me, you know, a hard time. But at the same time, I don't always trust the girls because
They gossip too much.
they gossip way too much. And it's like, why that was not needed to be shared with anybody.
Right.
Why is that being told to people? So,
Well, I'm going to share this with you.
time for a new
We're
topic.
done.
Kill it.
Oh boy.
Well, that's just going by too fast.
I know.
Okay. How do you feel about Hollywood stars making unfavorable statements about the Israeli and the Palestinian conflict?
Like with
Like
Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, they live in Spain. I mean, they're Hollywood stars, but they live in Spain, so they have a different outlook on things than we do.
Yeah, they're closer to everything.
Now, it's common knowledge that your big producers, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, all of these big people in Hollywood, they're Jewish. However, you don't hear them speaking out. Most of them are being very, very quiet. Steven Spielberg, all of them are not really speaking out and saying things.
Well, that's
I think,
smart on their part, though.
very smart. However, the thing is that Bernie Goldberg made a very interesting statement the other day. He said, their way of thinking is one way, and being a Jew is another way. And he goes, sometimes their thinking, it gets in the way of them being Jewish. I think what people need to understand that this Palestinian and with the Gaza Strip and the Israelis is that the very interesting thing was the other day I saw this semi-documentary where young Americans were going over and they were getting young kids from Palestine and from Israel. And I say young kids, teens. They were talking. They were having a dialogue. They both have three things in common. One, they love their family. Two, they hate this conflict. And three, they want to live in peace.
Well, that's the thing now. It's an outdated conflict. And that's what it turns into with most wars, most conflicts. It's the older generations still holding the grudge. And I mean, if you want to bring it locally, it's like...
Sure.
It's like the alumni from Argonaut and the alumni from Amador, they're always going to hold that bitter rivalry between the schools.
Sure.
It's still all in good fun, but it's there. They still want the other team to lose.
And another thing with this, Austin, we have to remember too, Hamas is the one that's behind this.
Of course.
And they want, I think they want this conflict. People want to see this conflict over there.
You know,
let these people live in peace.
There's so much into this topic that I don't even dare say a word because it's so overwhelming, Susie.
It's been going on for hundreds of years.
I mean, there's
thousands
of years, and it's not going to stop.
And nobody's going to change it. If we think that we're going to go in there and we're going to change it,
we're
it's
mistaken.
the United States.
It's not our job.
You know, it's not,
it's
our
and we're not
job
going to be able
to help make
allies.
peace.
Right.
To make peace with the world. But
now, what about this? They're saying that,
not
okay,
sending our children again
Palestine,
to another
please,
war.
Palestine says, okay, the Israelis threw the first bomb because they have these 72-hour peace things. Then the Israelis say, no, we're retaliating for one that was thrown our way. How do both of these sides know that this is not Hamas doing all of this just to cause these conflicts and these terrorist groups?
Because they themselves want to be
in control.
And it turns ugly for everybody that doesn't want it. Which, like you said, it's the young people. They don't want to be in conflict. There's Israelis and Palestinians that are getting married, but they're moving.
But have you seen
that's how they are being educated? That since the day they babies, they are being told.
Exactly.
These
right.
are
Maybe
our
these
enemies.
new coming generations will ease up a little bit. But the thing that I find with these conflicts and stuff is that, unfortunately, it is our fight in a way. Okay, because Israel is our ally.
Exactly. Well,
how far do we take it? How far? They're our ally. How far do we take this? We don't know. But the thing is I have never, and obviously this goes back thousands of years. I have never seen the criticism of Israel like I have with this conflict. I find it appalling when you think about everything that's been going on. Put the blame where it is. The Palestinians want to live in a lot. They want to live in freedom. Let's face it. I mean, who in the hell wants to be bombed every 5 minutes?
Everybody wants to live in freedom.
You've got these kids out in the playgrounds. They've got bomb shelters and these concrete things that they got to run into when they're playing. You don't raise kids like that.
No, it's awful, and it turns into a conflict where nobody's going to win because they're always going to be retaliating for something that was done.
Right.
It turns into a gang war.
I think that maybe,
it's a high-scale gang war.
We've had presidents go over and sit down when we've had leaders of Israel and leaders of Palestine and whatever, and do get them to sit down at the table.
And
I don't know if we are the type of government any longer that peace is linked with our name. I really don't. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. And now back to Just Between Us.
Welcome back to Just Between Us, and we're ready for our hot topic.
We are.
So this just happened.
I'm not.
But that's okay. We'll walk through this. The president has authorized military action, bombing, whatever, of Iraq due to the Islamic militant firing upon the U.S. personnel, and this is only to go in and to target like ISIS, the terror targets, to protect the U.S. citizens that are living over there in Iraq and the Iraqi citizens. So it has nothing to do with us bringing war specifically on the Iraqi people. But Thursday, we dropped supplies to help aid the Iraqi people. So we understand that all of them, the majority of them, not all of them, but the majority of them don't want this faction there, and they don't want to start the conflict back up again.
Well, that's going to be
Yeah.
That's going to end up being a war again.
It'll be a war. It'll be another war on terror, and we always have a war on terror.
Okay,
It's
now
always a
you
war on
are
terror.
aware of the fact that ISIS has now taken over one of the big dams over in the Middle East.
Yeah, and they're threatening to either destroy it and let 65 feet of water come down on everybody, or shut off
I
power
saw
and
that.
water
Right.
for everybody.
So I think the general thing what we need to remember here is that ISIS is the target. They need to go, and they're getting bigger, they're getting stronger. As a matter of fact, one of the men that we let go from Guantanamo Bay, not the last three because I don't know, but the one before that was very instrumental in 9/11, said, "I will see you back in America very soon."
I don't understand why we let them go. Why do we keep releasing people from
So
Guantanamo?
it's been shown that a lot of these people are joining up with ISIS now because they feel ISIS
Wasn't that the president's idea?
Yeah, he said, let them go, that way we can get this one traitor back. Why?
Well, this was not the three guys
Well,
for this one guy. This
I
was the guy
don't
before
know because I'm not the president. I don't make those decisions.
I
but
don't understand
but,
why we would
you
get
know,
a traitor
with-
back for...
When that has anything to do with common sense, don't expect the government
No.
to have common sense.
No.
You know,
I think
and-
we're seeing it more and more.
You, as a young person, are going to see a lot more than we are going to see in our lifetime. We have seen so much already that I'm just like, what?
I'm done.
This country used to be number one. We were the strongest country.
Well, we're not anymore.
We're
Where
not
did-
number one
Where did, where did
by a
we,
long
okay,
shot.
where did we go wrong? That's where the government has to start looking at. Where did you start going wrong? Because
It's because
40,
it's the
40
difference.
years ago, this country was
Because
the
you have
best.
a country, you have both sides of the aisle that are working against each other, not with each other. Years ago, it was different. You didn't have the conflict. This Middle East conflict
yeah.
has brought in a lot of heat. And our domestic problems here has brought in a lot of heat. We're getting it now with people coming to this country illegally.
Yeah.
We're you know,
Still allowing
you're having certain people get up there and saying that Hamas is a humanitarian organization. Come on, people. You know, you insult the American people, and you insult our intelligence when you get on camera and you make these type of statements. Now, we have to remember, there is more media today. There is more,
much more.
There's faster time. We're seeing things in real time. And a lot of times, and it's not our government's fault, they will say things that the intelligence that they've gotten is wrong. And so they have to come back and they have to correct it. We say, well, gee, Minnie Christmas, can't you get nothing right? Well, no. At least they're coming back and they're correcting the
But
information.
that's only on certain networks.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the fact remains is that we are a country divided more now than we have ever been divided. And we don't have the camaraderie. We don't have the patriotism. We don't
I don't know,
have...
we were pretty divided on Vietnam.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. When we go back, that was my next statement. The last time we saw something like this was during Vietnam when people were actually rioting and killing each other in the streets. Are we going to get back to this?
We probably will. Everything's going to get worse before it gets better. And it becomes the
terrible.
issue of, you asked, where did we go wrong?
I don't know.
Government walk all over us. They can do anything right now, and they get away with it because we don't know any better. It's sad when
well,
you can see
you know, very few
who's Barack
people-
Obama or who is the president right now.
Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know.
But who did the Bachelorette pick?
Yeah.
Oh, so and
yeah.
so.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's your problem.
You know that kid that goes out and
You
does
are-
all that
Yeah,
stuff.
Watersworth.
Watersworth.
Right.
Do you know that when he asks people who is the Speaker of the House or who is the Vice President,
They
90% of these kids
don't know.
don't know?
They
I mean,
don't know.
is that wrong or what?
That's wrong.
That is wrong.
If you don't know who the president, the vice president, the speaker of the house, you know,
Your governor.
Yeah, if you don't know who your governor is, I don't pay attention to our
You
governor.
ask
He's an
one
idiot,
kid,
too.
if the president died and the vice president died, who becomes president?
Speaker of the House.
The Speaker of the House. Not one kid could tell you that. Not one kid that they've gone out
I
and they've interviewed.
don't care if he's Republican. That'd still be an awful choice. Boehner would just be an awful president.
Well, and so would Biden. They
Biden
both would be bad.
We have 4 in a row because who's the
Then
Senate?
it becomes the
The Senate Majority Leader.
Yes.
Harry Reid?
Yeah.
We're
Oh
screwed.
my God.
We can
Let's
kill
take a
everybody.
break.
and
Let
we're
me take a break before my blood pressure really gets bad. We'll be right back.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage.
Welcome
We
back.
are.
You can reach us at 223-4877, or you can fax us at 223-4866, or you can email us at bookme@tspntv.com. I don't know why I'm talking to the clock right now, but that's what you can do if you'd like to. I want to thank Austin for co-hosting with me this morning on AM Live.
It was a lot of fun.
I want to thank you
Yes.
for being on the panel today. Next time, if we ever get in this little jam, you're going to be seeing Sarah. She's going to fill in with me.
And
Oh, I
next
thought we
week.
were going to use
And-
Tommy because
and
Tommy doesn't
my
get to
love-
sit in
Yes,
the
I
seat.
know. I want Tommy in here.
and my shining star, my love, Martha.
Oh,
thank
and
you.
next week we might end up seeing our Donna at
I know.
Lions.
Donna, she is
God.
going to be. You're going to be here,
Yes,
right?
I will be
We miss
here.
Donna.
We're going to have a lot of fun with Donna. I want
I
to
might
find
be
out.
here because I have a birthday coming next week.
You better believe
Yes.
it, girl.
It's not
You better
the-
be here.
It's not the big 65.
So-
It's just one before.
Oh, so
I can't even say it. I can't even say it.
you're gonna be like 30, right? That's it, right?
Twice plus.
You're 30. It's okay.
Yeah, well, guess what? I'm getting closer to 70. So,
No way, Jose.
yes, believe me.
But
I am.
anyway,
Say depends.
no, don't depends on.
Yeah, no, don't use the word depends either, please.
But what a great job you did.
Yes, Austin.
I really admire you thinking and the way that you are being educated, because I like to see the young people, be able to get us out of this because it's after you to help us in this country
Oh, yeah.
go back to what it used to be. If you go to the Capitol and tell all of them, get some common sense, you people.
That
Well,
not so nice a word as people, but
But you know what I think what's really refreshing, and you find that up here a lot, is that these kids, we can bring in all of our topics and stuff, they have loyalty to their friendships. They dress, they don't show 3 inches of the crack of their rear end. They have a brain in their head. And older people like myself and middle-aged people like Martha and stuff, we can learn, well, it's your birthday.
Thank you.
We can learn from younger people. If you just sit down and listen to them, they do have a mind. They do have a thing. Parroting skills. Sarah's going through that now. She's
with
going to be
that-
sending her little one off to school.
And with that-
we can learn.
Ooh, that's
So we're going to say goodbye, besitos.
Mwah.
Bachi.